Hi all. Today it's a highly interesting reason to make the one more golf statistics video because just finished the PGA Championship. Alexander Schauffele uh, was the winner, and Bryson DeChambeau was the second one. And in this connection, it's highly interesting to understand what component of the game, if any, is more influencing for the total results. Currently, we will just take a look for the game around the green because my idea is that the scrambling was a hugely important component of the game this time, because we can see that if we will try to analyze exactly from the scrambling viewpoint, we will find that Bryson DeChambeau had 90% scrambling statistics. Thomas Dutry, 84. Alexander Schauffele on the third place, 83. And we can see that all six positions are all six best golfers are on the all first six positions. If we will try to make analysis for the greens and regulation, it seems that greens and regulation may be more influential than the scrambling. But actually, we will find that Alexander Schauffele is certainly in the first position with 83.33%, but Corey Connors, who was just on the 26th position, is on the second position in the green regulation. And Jack and Eamon, who are on the 39th position, is on the also on the second place in the greens and regulations. So the greens and regulations is not so hugely correlated with the best golfer's performance. The putting average, the same situation, maybe even more, that more volatile situation, because Zach Blair, Harris English, Brooks Koepka, they were not the best golfers. And Alexander Schauffele and Bryson DeChambeau just on the 6th or 7th position here. So the same situation with everything, excluding maybe sand saves, but because he had Alexander Schauffele on the first place, Bryson DeChambeau on the second place, and this component exactly with the same result, 100% of the sand saves. But we can find the golfers who was not so hugely good during these tournaments on the next positions, just maybe excluding Justin Rose. It doesn't mean that this component of the game is not so serious, not important, but actually we can find that scrambling is hugely important. And I have started this process during the years, and I need to say that golfers are winning when they are showing us results exactly very close to Bryson DeChambeau, for example. If we will multiply the greens and regulation for scrambling, we will find that this figure will be approximately 64%. And for Scotty Scheffler, for Alexander Schauffele, who was a winner, it's even more than 64%. So if in the long run the golfer have this multiplication of the greens and regulations for scrambling more than 50%, I mean that in season, during the season, he is usually on the first or second position in the money list. Certainly currently the money list may be not so hugely important measurement of the quality of the golfer's game, because as we know, the golfers in the LIV Golf are making more money than those ones who are playing in the PGA Tour. But anyway, it's highly influencing for the total performance of the golfers, for the average scoring and so on. So we will try to make more additional analysis from those for the other statistics, for the strokes gain statistics. I also took a result from the PGA Championship player statistics stats list, and I have made a spreadsheet, for the analysis in the Python. And idea is to add additional components of the stroke gain analysis because we are taking them mostly from the primary results as total strokes gains of the tee, approach to the green, around the green, tee to the green, to green, and putting. And we will try to make analysis additional components. The stroke gains from the short game. It will be the sum of the strokes gains around the green and stroke gains from putting, and the stroke gain from the long game. It's a stroke gain of the tee plus the stroke gains from approaching. So it's a full swing. The long game it's close to the full swing, and the short game is the the putting plus chipping plus pitching. And stroke gain is 100% correlated with the total performance of the golfers. In this connection, stroke gain will be as as something we want to receive as a task, and the stroke gain from the short game and stroke gain from the long game will be the the measurement which we will try to use. First of all, we can simply make the plots and the charts of these relationships between the stroke gain and the stroke gain total. It's a X, and the Y is stroke gain from the short game. And we can see that we can understand that it will be quite a good correlation between them, because the lower results in the strong gains are related with the lower results with the short game, and the better results in the stroke gains is relative with the better results in the stroke gains from the short game. If we make the same analysis for the long game, we will find that it's also quite a relative, some kind of dependence between those two measurements. But if we will make analysis, the graph between the stroke gain from the short game and stroke gain from the long game, we will find that it's quite a big difference, and in many cases we couldn't find such relationships between them. So we can calculate the covariance between stroke gain and stroke gain from the short game. We can calculate the covariance between the stroke gain and stroke gain from the long game, and we will find that long game a little bit more influencing for the stroke gain than the short stroke gain from the short game. In some cases it's understandable because there are not so many shots around the green, because if you, for example, if we'll take a look for the greens and regulation, we will find that this figure is much more higher than 50%. In this case, for example, here the Alexander Schauffele not so often played and used the scrambling in his game, because in 83% he was on the greens and regulation. So it's not so hugely influencing, but for the other side, it's a hugely influencing for the performance of the best golfers. And if we analyzing the leaders, we need to understand that it's sometimes it depends exactly from the stroke gains from the short game. So the correlation is also a little bit higher for the stroke gain from the long game than for the stroke gain from the short game. And we can make regression analysis, and one of these methods of the regression analysis we can use, we can find also additional information that F statistics, for example, between the short game and the strokes gained from the short game and the strokes gained is 36.74, and the probability of F statistics is lower than 0.05, and this connection is talking us that relationships between those two measurements between those two are very serious. And we will find that the constant is 0.7, and coefficient for the stroke gains from the short game will be 0.785 multiplied for the number of the strokes gained from the short game. And we can take a look for the charts, which is showing us the linear of regression, for example, and we see that it's linearity, some kind of linearity here. For the long game, it's even better situation because the F statistics is higher, 72.95, and probability of F statistics is lower because degree is -12. In this case, it's very huge results. And the coefficient, constant coefficient, is 0.647, and the coefficient for the stroke gain from the long game is 0.83, so it's a little bit more influential than the short game. Between long and short game, we could not find any kind of the serious statistical relationships because F statistic is 2.75 only, and the probability of F statistic is higher than 0.05 and is 0.1. So in this condition, 2 times higher. So it's talking us that it's not relationships between those measurements, and the coefficients are also showing us that it's a true idea. And by the end, we can try to make analysis. Is it to make two components, additional analysis of two stroke gains component, stroke gains from approaching and stroke gains around the green? We're just trying to understand, is the proximity, is the accuracy of the game close to each other in approaching and the game around the green? And we will find that they are not, because the F statistics is very low, 0.039, and the probability of F statistics is very high, and showing us that it's not any serious relations between those two elements, which we are thinking that they maybe have a relationship because we are talking about accuracy. So when we are gaining strokes from the approaching, we need accuracy, and we are gaining strokes from the around the green, we also need accuracy. But those are two absolutely different skills, and if you are going to have a good improvement of your performance, you will need to spend the time for the both of them separately, because you know that it's not any kind of the that a positive feedback one of them for another. Maybe it's related with the fact that stroke gain from approaching are related with the much more higher swing speed, and transition is highly influential for as an element, a technical element is highly influential for approaching accuracy. But in the case of the stroke gains around the green and accuracy around the green is scrambling, we need not a full swing, and in this connection we need to control the ball, control the swing speed, and we need not some kind of impulsing, and maybe is that idea is absolutely different, because we need to make it with almost the same speed of the that it's not less than half of the swing speed during approaching. So that many ideas will be about the reasons and about the technical elements, but anyway, I think that this video is giving us the additional information that the statistical results are talking us in many cases the same, which we are understanding, but maybe concentration of our attention on those components is talking us that if we want to have a good results, we need to spend a lot of time for the game around the green. And now we are talking about the guys who have a greens and regulations much more higher than 50%. So they are playing around the green, not so maybe oftenly, but even for them it's hugely important. But for us, for the buggy golfers who are playing just 25% of the greens and regulation and less, we will need to play 75% of the holes around the green. And in this case, it's necessary to spend much more time for the game around the green. And the good recommendation is to spend 60-65%, 2/3 of all your training time for the game around the green and on the green. So this is the idea of this video. But if for huge results, also one of the ideas is that there are not universal golfers in the long run. Some of them are better in the long game, some of them are better in the short game. Just during the best rounds, such as Alexander Schauffele and Bryson DeChambeau, we can find that they are very close to universal, but we can see that it's quite a big difference between the stroke gained around the green for Alexander Schauffele and for Bryson DeChambeau. Bryson DeChambeau gained more than 1 point more against Alexander Schauffele. Certainly it's relative with the fact that Alexander Schauffele have played around the green less oftenly than Bryson DeChambeau. In this case, it's more influential. In the putting, they were very close to each other. In the stroke gained off the tee, Bryson was a little bit better, but in stroke gained from approaching, Alexander was much more better than Bryson, and it's understandable that he's now that winning were mostly related with the stroke gains from approaching. But it's a story for the next video. Thank you very much for your attention. Have a good day. Bye bye.